just to be sure, there's a spoiler, is the latest historical fiction epic to grace our TV screens, and behind the series are fascinating real-world stories to explore. The new show is a passion project from co-creator Jason Momoa, who also stars in the series. Momoa leads Chief of War's cast as the warrior Kaʻiana, a man treading the line between peace and violence. Like most historical epics, Chief of War takes liberties with its stories for dramatic purposes. However, the show's premiere episodes have already demonstrated an emphasis on embracing Hawaiian history with language and production design of the highest quality. Welcome to Movie Spy. Chief of War takes roughly between 1782 and 1810. This is a multi-decade epic. First things first, it's vital to establish a time frame, as Chief of War's events take place over the span of multiple years at a pivotal moment of Hawaiian history. This period was defined by war between the four major kingdoms of the Hawaiian Islands, before Kamehameha I, Kaʻiana Mekua, also known as Kamehameha the Great, conquered and unified them. The unified kingdom of Hawaii went on to last in its independence until 1893 before eventually becoming a U.S. state in 1959. The early stages of Western influence, particularly the British, are demonstrated in Chief of War. However, the American integration wasn't until decades after the events of the show. Kaʻiana was an 18th-century Hawaiian warrior. Kaʻiana was described as Herculean in appearance. As mentioned, Jason Momoa plays a man named Kaʻiana, who was regarded in history as a warrior and explorer. He had two half-brothers, both of whom play prominent roles in the show, Nhilia, Sua Ikale, and Namekaha, Te Kotahaka, and was married to Kekapuohi, Te Ao Hainapiinga. Their names are slightly altered in the series. The three brothers all helped Kahekili II conquer Oahu in the early 1780s, as is depicted in Chief of War's first episode, and left the king's forces after being dissatisfied with his rule. Kaʻiana later joined the ship of fur trader Captain John Mears, Errol Shand. These travels took Kaʻiana far and wide, even reaching China, the Philippines, and the northwestern coast of North America, before eventually returning to Hawaii. Kaʻiana's time spent with Western civilization provided him with an understanding of firearms and other advanced technology, which he helped integrate into his culture upon return, aiding King Kamehameha I in the unification. Hawaii was divided into four kingdoms: Oahu, Maui, Kauai, and Hawaii. At the time of the Chief of War, Hawaii was split into four major kingdoms: Oahu, Maui, Kauai, and Hawaii. Kaʻiana is believed to have been raised on Oahu in real life, which is the kingdom he later helps Kahekili II conquer. Kahekili II rules over the island of Maui in Chief of War, which is consistent with real life. Ahumanu, Luciane Buchanan, was also born on Maui to a man named Keeaumoku II, shortened to Moku in the show, played by Moses Goods. King Kamehameha I was born on the island of Hawaii as the son of Kiwa, Cliff Curtis. In the present day, the island of Hawaii is nicknamed the Big Island for its size and elevation, but Oahu is by far the most populated, hosting the state capital, Honolulu. Maui and Kauai are still the names of their respective islands. There are 8 total islands in the Hawaiian archipelago, though only 7 are inhabited. Chief of War's nobles are connected by blood. Kaʻiana is the first cousin once removed of King Kamehameha. Nobility, be it in fictional worlds like Game of Thrones or the real-world royal families, is often bound by blood and numerous generations of breeding between houses. Kaʻiana was born from a noble background and was the grandson of Keawikaʻailio a previous king of the island of Hawaii. Keawikaʻailio is also the grandfather of Kiwa, making them cousins, and the grandfather of Kamehameha the Great. Ahumanu was born on the island of Maui, and her father was a rival of King Kahekili II, full name Kahakalinui Kahumanu, and she was named after him. She is also the third cousin of King Kamehameha I, her future husband. Captain James Cook was the first European to reach Hawaii. James Cook reached Hawaii in 1778. Captain James Cook was a British Royal Navy officer and explorer who traveled around the Pacific Ocean in the late 18th century, eventually becoming the first European to visit the Hawaiian Islands. His other accomplishments include being the first to visit the east coast of Australia and circumnavigate New Zealand. Chief of War Episode 2 shows Kaʻiana and ahumanu discussing the previous arrival of the British, which they repelled. This is likely referring to Cook's third voyage in the late 1770s, in which he reached the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. Aside from one of Cook's men shooting a Hawaiian man, this was a peaceful encounter. The navigator who appears in Hawaii in Chief of War Episode 2 is Captain John Meares, another Englishman who arrived in the 1780s. James Cook died in 1779, just 1 year after reaching Hawaii, meaning he won't be appearing in Chief of War. Thanks for watching.